Sure. Good win for our guys. Told them, that's a good team we beat. That's a team that swept us last year with a lot of the same players. When you look at their lineup, Donovan Clay, N.J. Benson, Chance Moore, Alston Mason, all those guys on that team, Damian Mayo, the majority, the crux and core of that team, Ayers, all those guys were on the team last year that swept us. So to come in and get a win, I thought, we did a lot of good things. Certainly, still a significant amount of stuff to clean up, but I thought we were really efficient offensively. They tried to slow the game down early, take the air out of the ball. I thought they made us play in the half court some. I thought our half court execution was pretty good early. They were switching everything, which created some advantages there for Robbie. Guys did a good job of problem solving, getting the ball to Robbie in those situations to attack. They changed coverages. We were able to adapt to what they were doing. I thought offensively, I think we had 88 points in 60 possessions. So that's about as efficient as you can be on that end of the floor. And defensively, we had some really good stretches. I thought we were really good early. I thought, most of the first half we were pretty solid. I thought second half early, second half late, we weren't any good. Our zone was bad. But overall, a good performance against a really good team and a quality win, and did a lot more good things than not. So happy with this. I think the guys are looking forward to off day tomorrow. It's the first time in a while. It's been a long stretch here of games coming back from Christmas.
Coach, you had a lot of weapons that they had to contend with, and they came from different spots. I mean, at times Avalon was getting stuff underneath the basket. He was deep, phenomenal drives. He had threes. You were tough to defend.
Yeah, I think that's what makes this thing work is how versatile we are in the ways we can score and how many guys that we have that can do different things. When you look at Robbie, his ability to stretch the floor as a pick and pop 5-man, he can shoot threes. He's got he can shot fake and drive. We've got to get him in the seams more. I think he can get in the seams more. It was a turnover late there with Isaiah that he should have really rolled. Isaiah made the right read, and Robbie popped it, and we turned it over. But Robbie's versatility, can post when they were switching early. He was getting the ball in and dribbling down, and they were playing him one-on-one, so he was attacking that. But across the board, I mean, Julian Larry's ability to punch gaps and get out in transition and have quick key plays, and he's touching paint and making some really good plays. Ryan's ability to drive and shoot. Isaiah's ability to drive and shoot. Jason Kent's ability to cut, move without the ball, space the floor, make open threes, and you bring in Bledson who can shoot and pass, and he's able to do. He brings a different dynamic to the team, and so that's what makes this team hard to guard. I think is the amount of things we can do. We don't have to have necessarily a great night from anybody. Tonight, I think, Isaiah's as good a scorer as there is in the league, and, he didn't have his best night. Ryan has 5 points first half, but he has, or 7 points first half. He has 18 second half, and, makes big play after big play. Robbie, Jason Kent, double-doubles. There's just a lot of ways that we can hurt teams.
Turnovers were lower tonight. Ball handling good.
Yeah, I thought we were sound. Offensively, 88 points in 60 possessions. I mean, that's pretty hard to do. I don't care what the scenario is, but 6 turnovers was a big key. And honestly, the Belmont numbers were a little bit inflated because I think we had 10 going into the last 4 minutes, and then we turned it over 4 times there with the bench group, and we got up 38, and those guys turned it over 4 times in the last couple minutes. So really, in the guts of the game against Belmont, it was 10, and it was 6 tonight. Those are numbers we can live with, obviously, because if we don't guard ourselves, we're hard to guard. But you come down, you turn the ball over, and take opportunities away. That's where it's probably the most debilitating thing you can do in basketball. So we're trying to get better at cutting those down. Thought we did against Belmont. I thought we were really sound with the ball tonight, and we had to play a lot more half court tonight, just because the way they guarded us and tried to slow us down. That's just to pace the game. That was a 60 possession game is without question the slowest game we've played all year. There's no question in my mind.
You said Swope didn't shoot the ball his best. I remember, I think at least 3 times they did not want him to shoot a 3, and they gave up basically a layup to him. Can you talk about just the way he's impacting games and the defense is throwing at him?
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that is so dynamic. I mean, he's really an impossible guard. When you look at, what do you do to guard him? I mean, he can shoot with range. He can shoot off the dribble. He can shoot off action. He's quick enough to beat his man. He can touch paint. He can get his shoulders by. There's really not an area before you get to the mid range and make shots. He scored all 3 levels and really every which way you want. And so teams have to game plan for him and what it does do. Like you said, there was, I think, 3 possessions where he got layups because they were they sold out, take away the 3. He got layups, and he's getting in. He's becoming a better rim decision maker. So he's starting to learn how to kick out and find guys and be able to involve his teammates in those things. So I mean, I think there's still growth in his game in terms of what he's doing, but he creates so much attention that it makes life easier for everybody else. But then, to the point of, where are you going to come off of? Who are you going to try to come off of and play? Is that Ken? Is that Julian? Because they have ways to hurt you too, and Ryan, Robbie. So that group together, just the way they kind of fit the pieces. But he draws the best defender and the most attention, every single night.
Robbie and Jason were joking about the double-doubles and taking boards from each other and that kind of stuff. But 2 guys that get double-doubles, that's a huge impact in a game.
Yeah, Coach Mansky's, I'm sure he's loving that. That was their high school coach at Oak Forest, so I'm sure he's watching this and he tunes in and comes to a bunch of the games. So, those guys, I mean, the way they're playing, they're both playing like all league guys. I mean, they really are. People probably don't put Jason in that category, but he's playing like an all league guy. I mean, he's leading the league, and I think he's leading the league in field goal percentage. He's leading the league in double doubles. He's been terrific defensively. The work he did tonight on Donovan Clay, I thought, was outstanding. We switched a lot of stuff, but he was terrific. The job, the 2 biggest keys for us defensively were the ball screen stuff, and certainly Mason's, and Jude did a great job when he was on him of really making it difficult. And we held him to 15 points, but on 17 shots, and then the job Jason did on Clay. So those guys are rebounding it. They're pushing each other. Robbie's, probably only had maybe 1 double-double last year. I think he's got 3 or 4 this year now, and they've come really in pretty close proximity here. Jason's got, I think, 5 or 6 this year. So, we need to rebound. That's something where we have a smaller team. Today we were, +5 on the glass. Missouri State's the best rebounding team in the league in terms of, rebounding margins. So I think we're 3rd, which, given our size in the Valley, is pretty good because we're not a big team. But those 2 are, obviously, without question. And Ryan would be our 3rd guy that really has done a great job of at least keeping us competitive on the glass. In a lot of cases, we're winning the rebounding battle night in, night out, which that to me going into the year was probably my biggest concern with this team because we are small.
Get to play every game's important, but not only a road game, but you get a nationally televised game for a program that's winning and getting the spotlight. How big is that for you guys to draw a national TV game? Yeah,
I think it's great. I think when you look at institutions, the most important thing at any institution that goes on is education, academics, right? Without question. The most visible thing that happens at any institution, except for maybe the Ivy League, is athletics. And that's the front porch that you want, from exposure to marketability to, I think this is our 4th national TV game of the year. When you go back, look at Bradley, Ball State, Michigan State, and now this game, and obviously home against Bradley the next week, so it'll be our 5th one. Those are unbelievable opportunities for us to showcase our program, to showcase our university, to put Indiana State out there, and there's a lot of residual benefit from that, be it when you're looking at enrollment or looking at fundraising, all the things that go into having that's the most visible aspect of any institution, and so we understand it. Our guys, I think, it's a chance to showcase our program on a national stage, and we don't take that for granted. It's a really tough environment. Murray State is one of the hardest places in Missouri Valley to play. There is no question about that. But I know our guys are super excited. Chance to play on national TV, chance to play high-level competition in what's going to be a raucous environment. I don't think for guys that are competitors, it gets much better than that. Those are the times where you feel most alive. Like when we get out there Sunday and it's rocking in there, and just like it was in Michigan State, those are the times as a coach, player, you feel most alive. So I know our guys couldn't be more excited.
Now, Coach, not looking at the numbers, Jason Kent didn't sit all game. Xavier Bledson played a lot on the 6-man position. Basically, when Jake Wolf not getting a whole lot of bench minutes. There.
Yep.
What is the physicality and the actual speed of the game? How does that work with the team? How does practice and getting in the moment like that?
Well, I think it's our job to build guys to be able to play, 40 minutes a night if need be. I didn't go into the game with the intent to play in that the bench as few minutes as we did. I think they only got between the three of them 17 minutes, something like that, 18 minutes. But I felt like we were in a good rhythm offensively in that second half, and we were keeping the lead and keeping separation. I was managing some foul trouble with Ryan and trying to see if we wanted to. Late I switched because they went big with a jumbo lineup with Edwards and Clay and Benson together, so we went with Bledson on our end to minimize that. But the deal I make with the players is, I don't ever condition them. Like that's our we don't run. I don't do any kind of boot camp. We don't run, but we do play a lot, and we play a lot. And so I didn't really know until I came here because I was at Lincoln Memorial for 13 years, so everybody that worked for me was a GA, and so I was the only person I ever worked for, so I just thought the way we did things was pretty normal. And then I got here, and Graves and them are like, well, this is insane. But I didn't know until I got here that it was unique. But, guys tend to like to condition if the ball's involved. And we have drills and things we do on a daily basis that really push our guys. But it's our job to build them to play 40 minutes and be able to do that if need be. And again, you hope that's not the case. We're continuing to build our depth tonight. Wasn't probably great, but also it was a little bit of just kind of the circumstance of the game. There's certainly a clear separation in our team right now between our top 6 and everybody else. Our starting 5 fits together. Jabo's a 6-man, and then right now, Mace and Jake are getting those minutes, but that could change, depending on how things go. But for us, that's how we build it. We come in, we practice, we play a ton, we get up and down, we push them. Practices are harder than games. They should be, and we build that conditioning, that toughness, that ability to play, because not just playing 40 minutes, but the way we play offensively with all the movement, the way we play defense, all the switching. I mean, it's harder than most teams in terms of the amount of calories they're burning, the amount of miles they're running in those 40 minutes.
Conwell got into some early foul trouble and only sat 9 minutes in the game. So what kind of confidence as a coach does that bring to you, and confidence you have in the player to be in a little bit of foul trouble and still keep him out there knowing he's going to play pretty clean?
Yeah, I think that was, I tried to go to him earlier in the first half, and there was like a long stretch out of dead ball. But, I'm not one of those guys that's dogmatic about you have 2 fouls, you got to sit the first half. I think I want the referees to foul our guys out, not me, and so I've always thought that was funny. Like you could put a guy in with, 2 minutes to go. They can't put him in with 2 minutes to go in the first half with 2 fouls. You put him in the start of the second half. Well, is 22 minutes worse than 20? I don't even know. But I think as a coach, you can foul people out or take people out of rhythm. And so when a guy gets 2 fouls, I sat him for a little bit, and then we wanted to go back with him. I thought he did a great job playing with 2, playing with 4 there late. Ryan's a smart kid. He understands the deal. I have a lot of faith in him. I have a lot of faith in all these guys. They wouldn't be here otherwise. I have great belief in him, and he played, I thought, intelligently. Got his 4th with about 5.5 minutes to go, but we were able to play through, and he's able to finish the game, but did a good job. He did a good job of managing that foul trouble and not letting it. If some guys get in foul trouble to fix their defensive intensity, they start trying to play without fouling and give up layups, give up open shots. He continued to play with the right level. We was talking about appropriate physicality. He played with the appropriate physicality there those last, basically 30 minutes.